Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Neverwinter Nights Adventure Series number 8, Prophet Chapter 1, By the Will of Kings and Mortals. We're here in the Longhouse. I do want to rest again and check my spells because I've got another 5th level spell. So let's see what we want here. Energy buffer. Caster gains damage resistance 40 against all elemental forms of damage. Monstrous regen. For the duration of the spell, the target creature gains the ability to regenerate 3 hit points every round. How long does that last? 1 round for 2 caster levels. So a couple rounds. Battle Tide. You create an aura that steals energy from your enemies. Your enemies suffer a -2 circumstance penalty on saves, attack rolls, and damage rolls once entering the aura. On casting, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to your saves, attack rolls, and damage rolls. And then 4th level. It's Divine Power. Caster gains the following bonus: 1 extra hit point per caster level. Strength is raised to 18. If their strength is already 18 or higher, it's not raised further, and base attack bonus improves that of a fighter of the same level. We want that for Karini. How about remove disease? We got 2 remove diseases, so I'll have to remember that. Another bull's strength. I think would be good. Alright, where's my remove disease down here? Let's put it right here. What else do we have? I'm going to put Battle Tide down here, so we're going to get out Parry and put Battle Tide down here. So let's rest again. So we have the power to greatly empower others, our summon, as well as greatly empower ourselves. So that is very cool. Now let's go see elenorn. I am going to ask my mom tomorrow when she wakes up during the day for another module. We're going to go through the modules and select one. Because I'd like to play a different module while I'm playing this one as well. And I want her to select it. I was going to play Mystara, which seems like a cozy 10-level module, 10-hour module, but I'm going to let my mom pick it. We'll go through a selection of, maybe we'll go by a letter, like the letter T, and then she can pick one out of all the T or something. So let's head to elenorn's tree hut, if I can get there. Alright, let's check it out. Greetings, Sir Eleanor. My name is Karini Kovaleski. It is a pleasure to meet you, Karini Kovaleski, and what events and purposes have brought you here into my home? I was wondering if you have any goods to sell. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I have all manner of magical items and supplies for sale or trade. Please have a look. Thank you. Protection, fun traps. Actually, I was wondering if you'd be able to translate this book. It is titled Codex Lothair. Codex Lothair? Are you sure this is the title? Here, take a look yourself. Show him the book. His eyes widen. Indeed, so it is. Where did you obtain this book? I found it on the body of a man who died within a drow temple. By the tears of Enereth, my dear woman, that is not a place for one to enter lightly. Indeed, we barely escaped with our lives, but please tell me, can you decipher this text? I can, yes, but I'm afraid I cannot agree to do so. Why not? My friend, the texts of the drows are not fit for our ears. The hatred and darkness they contain bring no wisdom to those who wish to live in peace with the world. The drow have chosen madness, and we should not seek to follow in their footsteps. You seem to know something about their texts. What secrets do they contain? That I will not answer. I am sorry, but I will not subject someone to the teachings of the drow. There is no wisdom to be found therein. Well then, are you interested in purchasing it from me? Yes, I will offer you 500 gold pieces for the book, and for your promise that you will not seek to know more about the wretched drow. I'll have to think about it. The book has piqued my curiosity. Please listen to Lord Elenorn, Karini. His is wise advice. Perhaps you are both right. Here, I do not want the book. Take it. You have made a very wise choice. Fair enough. I've come to speak with you about a man named Uther Palindros. I believe you knew him? Uther Palindros. I have not heard that name for many years. But yes, he was a friend to me once, long ago. Do you know what happened to him? It is said that he disappeared more than 200 years ago. 227 years ago, yes. He abdicated the throne of Asgard and vanished. Do you know why? Do you know where he went? Please, young woman, there is time to ask each of your questions in turn and to listen to their answers with care. Do you know why he left the throne? Well, to understand Uther Palindros, one must first understand the gift that he possessed. His was the talent of foresight, the ability to see, through dreams, visions of events that had yet to pass. It is a rare talent, and great was his ability. Yes, it seems I have some of that skill myself. Indeed, you are able to see the future. Then I pity you, Madam Karini Kovaleski, for I have seen this gift be nothing but sorrow to those who possess it. Nevertheless, it is a burden I carry. Then I ask you that you not speak of what your visions have revealed to you. Such knowledge only brings sorrow to those who hear it. You don't? Are you not curious as to what the future brings? I am, but I will live yet to see the future. I have patience to learn events in the order in which they present themselves to me. But is it not better to be prepared? Knowing the future does not allow one to prepare for it. To see events out of their natural sequence does not allow one to make sense of them. Without knowing the causes, how one leads to the other, one cannot know which actions or inactions will be responsible for the future. Perhaps that is right. Nevertheless, I must know what happened to Uther Palindros. It is very important. I think you may already understand part of the answer to that mystery, Karini Kovaleski. He left the throne in order to pursue a goal which he saw as greater than the leadership of a kingdom. There was something he had foreseen in his visions, something he wished to prevent. Do you know what it was? I don't. He did not discuss it with me, nor would I have wanted him to. Do you mean you spoke with him at the time he left the throne? Yes, I had seen him on several occasions in the days before his disappearance. He seemed deeply disturbed, not his own self. He was distant, quiet. His eyes were hollow, as if a cloud had settled over them that no southern wind would banish. Do you know what caused him this distress? I do not know what brought on this change in my old friend. I could tell that he was still the same great and honorable man, but some great weight was pressing upon his heart, a weight greater than even the burdens of leadership. Such a weight could only be caused by the curse of sight. So he saw some terrible vision. Do you think he meant to prevent it somehow? Perhaps. Uther Palindros believed that he was more than a prophet. He believed he could change the future. And what do you believe? I believe that the future is not set in stone. I believe our choices are constantly changing it. Uther Palindros believed this as well, although I do not think he had ever had a prophetic vision which didn't ultimately come to pass. And yet, he was not the kind of man to sit idly as events unfolded. I am sure he tried to avert whatever fate he saw. Do you have any idea of what it was he saw? I do not, but there was a phrase I heard him repeat several times. The century of sorrow? Indeed. You have heard it too, then? Yes, that phrase has haunted my own dreams as well. Indeed. What is the century of sorrow? I do not know, but I remember that Uther had uttered this phrase several times. I often heard him saying to himself over and over, the century of sorrow must not come to pass. It seemed an obsession with him. It must have been a truly frightening vision. So that is why he left Asgard, but do you know where he went? I had some idea, yes, although the details are not known to me. On 2 of his last visits to Linlithorn, Uther Palindros had sent several of his men to explore the Daltharim Mountains. Do you believe they were searching for something? No, I believe they were exploring the mountains in order to decide upon a place to build something. A tower that touches the sky. Touches the sky, yes, that is the phrase he used. What phrase? He said once to me shortly before leaving forever, when your hand touches the sky, there shall you find me. You know this tower? No, but I have seen it in a dream. It must be the place. It must be where the Prophet King had gone. Well, young woman, a journey into the Daltharim is not something to be undertaken lightly. Are you sure it is your intent to pursue this matter further? Do you think it is dangerous? It is very dangerous. There are beasts in the mountains that few mortals ever see, and those that see them do not live to tell the tale. Nevertheless, I know that is what I must do. Very well, but know that the Daltharim Mountains hold dangers both natural and unnatural, both living and inanimate. Many of their cliffs are impassable, rising for thousands of yards into the clouds themselves. You must prepare yourself well. I will be sure to stock up on supplies. Indeed, be sure to speak with the High Priest Annandale before you set off. He sells many healing potions and supplies that may save your life in the high mountains. You will find him in the great hall of the Senrad. Also, speak with Thurian, the weaponsmith. He knows much about the dangers of the Daltharim. I will do that. Can you tell me how to get to these mountains? They are here, just outside my window. This city is nestled at their side, but the passage you must follow does not begin here. Where then should I begin? I know of one passage into the mountains, one that leads into their very heart. You must travel alongside the Ophiorian River. It runs from the peaks of the mountains down into these lands and through these forests that surround us. You must head southward from this city into the deep forest. There, seek out the druidess Rithian. She will show you the way to the Ophiorian River. Once you arrive at the river, follow it eastward along its southern bank until you come to the great waterfall of Kryn Talor. There you must begin your climb. Am I to follow the river all the way to the peaks? Yes, I believe that will lead you to the tower of the Prophet King, the tower that touches the sky. But I cannot tell you what dangers you will find along the way. You must be prepared for anything. I will. Thank you, Sir Elenorn.
I've something to say.
What is it, Larian? We have faced danger together before in the Black Marsh at the shores of the Sigris, but this journey you embark upon, it leads toward even greater perils. Indeed, if you're not willing to come further, I will understand. No, that is not it. You will need all the help you can get. That is why I wish to accompany you further. Thank you, Larian. It would be good to have you at my side. Now let's get going. Wait here one moment. I wish to give you something. Oh, he was in his way. Oh, that was a trap door. Thought he opened a chest. Here, I want you to take this. What is it? Oh, a Salanthier. It's a Salanthier, isn't it? What is a Salanthier? It is a gem of great power which can protect you on the dangerous journey you are about to undertake. What does it do? It widens the astral roots of trees, allowing passage through the latticework that connects all life. Can you explain that a bit more, please? As you know, all of the world's trees have physical roots which extend into the ground. What many do not know, however, is that the trees also have astral roots which connect them to the great mother tree of Irol Sanath. Thus, all forests are connected into a great lattice of life. This gem allows you to travel along that lattice. How does it work? If you touch the gem to the ground near a tree, any living tree, and speak the words, Anastai Krill Lin Latharn, a portal will be opened. This portal can bring you instantly to the enchanted tree in the hall of the Senrad of Ritzelvade. That is the sister tree of this Salanthier. If you then touch the enchanted tree while holding the Salanthier, it will open a portal that can bring you back to where you had previously used it. This is a most generous gift. It is a powerful item, but I can see that the journey you embark upon is one of great importance and great danger. You are brave to embark upon it, and I must do what I can to help you. When you have found what you seek, you will return the Salanthier to me. That I promise. Thank you, Sir Elenorn. But know this, the Salanthier can only be used 3 times. Do not waste its power without due cause. I won't. Thank you again. May serenity wrap her warmth around you, friend. Okay, we got a cool gem. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, do we want to check his book pile? Nothing.
Welcome.
Just a regular old club. I have a sling +1. Oh, he has potions of speed for 360 too. Always good to be loaded up on them. Now, what about the necklace? Because I found a necklace of fireballs, but I could get something like a periapt of wisdom. Amulet of health. Amulet of natural armor +2. What are my rings? Ring of protection +3. Ring of clear thought +2. AC +2, saving throw +2, use knock. Clear slot, ring of protection, ring of scholars. What's the ring of scholars? Lore +5. Wisdom +1. Ring of freedom of movement. Spellcraft +10. Alright, so armor bonus versus undead at 2 AC deflection modifier. Spell focus necromancy. Immune to level ability drain and wisdom +1. Dark times call for strong measures, and the creator of this ring knew the old adage as well as many. There are few examples of this type of item still to be found in the realm, said to be proof against the encroachments of the undead. And it's got the wisdom +1, which I like. This has improved saving throws +2. Oh, I can't even afford that. I can't afford any of these. I could. I like these books. The Purple Witch. The children of Chakadanath, especially the very naughty ones, often hear tales of the Purple Witch. It is said that she lives in a house that is not a house that walks on 4 legs and eats gems as food. It is said that the Purple Witch has 2 tongues that don't always speak in agreement, but that both have a taste for children cooked with bell peppers. Although it is not known whether this tale has any truth to it, it certainly helps to keep the kids quiet at night, but it doesn't help them sleep. The Cave of Songs. Deep within the dark forest of Grimwood there is a cave that sings. Few have ever heard its song, for the dark forest is filled with beasts most fierce. Stories abound of giant wolves, spiders 10 feet in diameter, and giants whose footsteps make the very earth tremble in fear. There's a tale of an ethereal hound that haunts the wood, guarding its secrets, and yet brave adventurers continue to explore Grimwood in search of the Cave of Songs, and in search of its ancient secrets. Some say that the cave echoes with the lamentation of an ancient spirit, older than the Calamnir Mountains themselves, who was forever encased in a crystalline prison made of sorrow. Some say the cave is the mouth of a great titan that had fallen asleep thousands of years ago and allowed the forest to grow upon its back. And some say that the cave is the lair of a banished race of men who have been punished by the gods for their greed and now toil endlessly in the dark, mining gems whose great value means nothing for them, for it brings no light to their world. And yet all of these are just tales, recounted and embellished through the generations. Only those with courage in their heart and the resolve to explore will ever know the truth behind the Cave of Songs. Vagar the Wavering. Cave of Songs is actually a module we can play. Horus Ogonoth and the Edge of the World. In 1062 LR, the famous explorer Horus Ogonoth set off westward over the Obsidian Ocean in search of the lost island of the Vearthene. For 40 days his ship sailed in pursuit of the setting sun. Many were the beasts of the sea that Horus and his comrades fought, and many were the days that the hot sun melted their resolve and weakened their spirits. Finally, after memories of land had faded and hope nearly left them, the intrepid explorers saw something upon the horizon. At first it seemed like the dark outline of a distant island, its mountainous peaks shrouded in clouds. As they approached, a great roar could be heard, like the sound of 1,000 dragons howling without end. Still closer, as the sound grew in its violent fury, fear began to grip even the stalwart heart of Horus Ogonoth himself. But what they found was more horrifying than any of their fears, filled with the armies of dragons. More horrifying than any of their fears filled with armies of dragons. Their ship had come to a great cliff in the ocean. The water spilled over this cliff, forming a monstrous waterfall that stretched as far as the eye could see, and fell into an abyss without bottom. Only through their great skill did the sailors manage to turn the ship round in time, just moments before it plunged over the edge of that massive ocean cliff. The goddess of fortune smiled upon them and let a strong gust of wind drive their ship eastward, away from certain destruction. And as the edge of the ocean receded behind them, and the wind parted the clouds that hung over the gigantic waterfall, Oris glanced back to notice still something more magnificent. For miles beyond the massive cliff in the ocean, a great wall of living water rose upward into the heavens, standing guard over the edge of the world. Invisibility purged. It's a lantern. It's 40,000 also. This old and worn-out book serves as an introduction to the arts of arcane magic. It was written by the Archmage Archtenachuan in 992 LR and often has been used in teaching the magical arts. Without the guidance of a mentor, however, the symbols within are impossible to follow. This particular copy has obviously been used heavily over the years, and notes with different varieties of handwriting appear in many places on the margin. The last few chapters, however, are nearly untouched. Why would I buy that? And into the void appeared Lor, the god of will, who decreed the world into existence. Time was his first creation, for without it all acts were without place. But the universe could not accept this, for all things must be balanced. And so to balance time, Lor created life, which both exists within and struggles against time. To create life, there had to be space and structure, and so Lor created the four material elements, again paired as balanced opposites. Earth for life to walk upon was balanced against air for life to move through. Fire for giving energy was balanced with water for giving wisdom, and these six elements were placed upon the faces of a great cube that Lor hurled into the void. And thus the world was created. To ensure the continued existence of his creation, Lor decreed that the elements shall balance themselves through a constant struggle. Fire shall boil away the water, but water shall quench the fire. Air shall blow across the earth, but earth shall enclose the air. Life shall extend through time, but time shall defeat life. Thus no force would fully overcome the others. If one grew more powerful, it would only be strongly opposed and brought back into equilibrium, and so the forge of elements would pulse and spin, proving that will can overcome oblivion. But all things must eventually be balanced. The religions of men. This book briefly describes the major religions practiced in the human nations of Buliria, Sardathi, and Akaban. These three religions share many deities, but each emphasizes some more than others. In the cities of Buliria, the major deity is the god Pallas, who is the patron of kings and paladins, the epitome of the honorable warrior. Temples to Pallas can be found in almost every city, but the greatest is the Grand Cathedral of Azogard. Most of the people living outside the cities, however, worship Arundel, the goddess of the harvest. Other major Balerian deities are Selene, the goddess of the moon, and Thulil, the god of the sun. In the kingdom of Sardathia, the religions of Thulil and Selene are much more significant, although Arundel is also popular among rural farmers. In addition, Sardathians worship the brother and sister deities Herm, god of war, and Elura, goddess of love. In Akaban, the religion of Liet, god of justice, dominates society, and other deities have few recognized temples. As in Buliria and Sardathia, many merchants worship the god Riul, who is their patron. Outside the major human settlements, there are several wild religions that have no recognized church. Among these is the worship of Elene, goddess of nature, and Frenthel, god of luck. I believe that's all the books on the fall of Endor. In the year 1255 LR, King Velhar of Endor fell ill to a mysterious illness and passed away. His priest could not divine the nature of his demise, but blame was soon placed on the neighboring kingdom of Buliria. The king's son, Ulthan, rallied the people to take arms and launched a war against Buliria. Caught off guard after decades of peace, the Bulirian people were slaughtered by the armies marching to their capital. They would have been swiftly defeated were it not for the actions of a lone Endorian rogue named Malik. While burglarizing the residence of Prince Ulthan, Malik found some documents revealing a plot by the Endorian aristocracy to get rid of King Velhar and place his son in power. In addition to the procurement of an exotic poison to murder the king, this plot involved the circulation of various rumors that would lead the populace to blame Valyria for murdering their king, inciting them to war. It was the aristocracy's wish to use this war to gain control over Valyrian lands and over the coveted trade routes with the nation of Akaban. Malak immediately perceived the importance of these documents and presented them to the great Andorian general Caleb Varasti. The effect of this new evidence was devastating. The war was immediately ceased, Prince Olthan thrown in jail, and the aristocrats behind the plot turned over to the Valyrians. With no political leadership left, the Andorian military fell into warring factions that plunged the entire nation into chaos for 3 full years. Finally, in an effort to stop the violence, several Andorian generals, including Caleb, pledged their service to the Valyrian king Gerald VI. With his now much larger army, King Gerald brought peace to the lands at last, and Endor itself eventually became a city of the greater kingdom of Valyria. Thus were the greed-driven plots of the wealthy undone by the greed-driven plots of a simple thief. Mushrooms, remove disease. Alright, let's actually buy... No, we can only buy one of those. Horn of Blasting for 3241. We have 2 of them. I don't think we need a third. Thank you, Eleanor. Now we have to go see the High Priest. In here. The exit out. There's writing upon this door. The object is locked.
No, I just can't get this done.
I greet you.
Oh, there's the tree. The tree radiates an overpowering aura of vitality and serenity. Awesome. In an otherwise quite dark game. This is the Salad or whatever, but where is the priest or whatever? Annandale. There he is. Annandale Aurelian.
Hello to you.
Greetings, sir. My name is Karini Kovaleski, and I wonder if I could ask you something. Certainly. What do you wish? Can you tell me about this statue? Ah, yes. It is a statue of Demisra Ritzelvane. She was the first queen of Linlatharn and the founder of this great city. What can you tell me about her? She lived more than 15,000 years ago, during the fall of Earl Sanath. In those days, we elves lived in the lands to the north, in cities of crystal upon the legendary shores of Agate Lorium. But all things must end, even the ages of elven civilizations. All things grow old, even the land itself. The skies grew cold, the forest grew thin and gray, as hair on the head of an aging man. Even elven magic could not care for a land that was tired and wished to die. Many in the courts of Earl Sanath refused to accept the passing of their civilization. In desperation, they built crystal spires to lift themselves above the ebbing of life, but nothing can stop the turning of the great wheel of time. And so the great elven civilization came to accept their death and prepared to meet it with serenity and dignity. Those cities were turned into burial chambers and libraries into monuments to a history that was to close forever. But some, like Demisra Ritzelvane, would not give up on the future of elvenkind. She was a great leader in war and in statesmanship, and she convinced the elves to head out on a great exodus. Southward they went, through the mountains that men now called Agerfjord, where giants make their home. Through the dwarven kingdom of Cragholm. Many died in the journey, but at last they came to a land that was young. At last they came to a great forest, a forest named Linlithorn, which means life renewed in the ancient dialects. And here, in the spot where Queen Demisra died and a great oak grew upon her grave, the elves built a city in her honor. Thank you, sir. That's a fascinating tale. Is there something else I could help you with? Do you have any supplies? Can you provide healing services? Indeed I can. What seems to be the trouble? Can you heal my wounds? I can. Please be still. Just in case. Thank you.
Hello to you.
Can you tell me about this place? This is the Senrod of Bristolvane. It is the hall where the Council of Elders from all across the Linlithorn meet to discuss important matters of state. It is also the dwelling of Lord Thelidasan, elder of the Bristolvane clan. Can you tell me of Lord Thelidasan? He is a very wise man, of peace above all else. He has led our clan for over 600 years and has seen us through many hard times. May I speak with him? I am sorry, but no one is allowed to disturb the elder. I understand. Can you tell me how often your council meets? Only when the need is most urgent. A council has not been called in over 100 winters. Really? And what was the reason for that meeting? That year, the winter was particularly hard, but the hardship of those days was not the cold wind and darkness. It was a dragon, a white dragon that descended from the mountains to seek food in the forest. Was the dragon slain? No, but it was driven back from our lands with arrow and spell. But it was a battle that cost the lives of many brave warriors. So the dragon still lives in the mountains. Nobody knows. White dragons seldom venture from mountain peaks, and few of us ever travel to their domain. Rarely do dragonkin and elven folk meet, and that is fortunate for us all. Do you have any supplies for sale? Yes, please take a look. Thank you. Ooh, you've got boots and stuff. My boots are pretty good, but you have Constitution +2, Dex +2, Braces of Armor +2. I have Lesser Gauntlets of Ogre Power. And I'm wearing the Elven Chainmail. Ooh, it's a nice greatsword. I'm just wondering what I'm going to wear. Charisma +2, Cloak of Protect +2, Elvenkind. Just wonder what necklace I'm going to wear when Potion of Remove Curse. I'm going to buy 2 of those. Another elemental protection. Tidying up a little bit. Oh, I didn't get that identified. 150 to tell me it's a Kurgle shroom. 1 fire arrow, sell for 5. Scaria spores, they do sleep, okay. Alright, we should be pretty good to go. Bull strength, do we have some bull strength? I can cast bull strength. We have a potion of it, some bark skin, some speed, yeah. We're fairly good to go. But I do, like I said, I wonder what I wear after this necklace of fireballs. Got 6 charges left. Ring of the Wood Elves. Spell resistance 16. Ring of Scholars. Let me quick save and grab this natural armor +2. Okay, it does do take me to 23, so we'll hang on to that and try to use up these fireballs. To the mountains we go. Prophet continues to impress. This time with the Elven Tree City. In a little moment of respite in a long and arduous journey thus far. I was interested in that Codex Lulthir or whatever, but probably just get me into trouble.
Well met.
I take it I'll go this way. We will do that in the next episode. To the mountains. I'll see you then. Much love, peace, and joy to you watching this. Thank you.